but it's a good job he wasn't that close. A left rear wheel failure spears Rubens on a one-way ticket into the barriers. A mere 4 kilometres from the flag makes it even more painful. The high levels of vibration damaged his suspension and he narrowly missed Button. He was lucky not to sustain any injuries. Kimi Räikkönen is pulling out all the stops. But there's contact. And Kimi careers into the gravel. Liuzzi's really in trouble. A broken front wing, a puncture, and this spin marks the end of his race. The track will have to be cleared. No, he's got a problem. Now something falls off his car, leaving him with plenty more tyres at his disposal. Now it's anyone's game. Ralph hits his teammate, loses his front wing. Räikkönen takes a hit from behind. There'll be plenty of pit action. The rear end contact has left Räikkönen with a puncture and he has to crawl back to the pits for almost a full lap. But he's not the only one. Sato's also had contact and ruined his tyre. Christian Albers has a lucky escape. A horrific mechanical failure could have been much worse. Did they touch? Michael's certainly struggling with the car. And that's why a puncture forces him to crawl back to the pits. But speed has left a window of opportunity for Wirtz. Alex takes it and leaves Scott out of the race. Lewis Hamilton was on a flying lap. He went off at turn 8 thanks to a blowout that speared him violently into the tyre wall. Hamilton had just pitted. Next up would be Kovalainen. But the McLaren didn't make it. Coulthard needed a change in fortunes, but a clean race looked out of the question. An early skirmish with Sutil, then contact with Glock, then to puncture, and an extra trip to the pits. But the conditions were still treacherous on the wet tyres, as Hamilton found out at Tabac. It was only a brush with the barrier, but it made sure he would have to visit the pits.
Fernando, at the moment you are faster than anyone else on track. You are faster than anyone else on track.
I hit the barrier.
Even Alonso was caught out and had to make an unscheduled stop. Timo Glock had a lucky escape. A damaged rear track rod gave way and caused Timo to lose control of the car in spectacular fashion and crash violently into the pit wall. The second pit stop window approached and McLaren hoped to leapfrog Massa with a long second stint. But it wasn't to be. Lewis suffered a tyre failure and was forced to complete the best part of the lap on a flat tyre. A right front puncture ruined his race. And left him crawling back to the pits. And then he made contact with Hamilton. The brush with Webber at the start soon froze Hamilton's charge, to the disappointment of McLaren Mercedes.
Tyre's coming off. It's really quite bad.
You were hit by Webber in the first corner, that's the reason for your puncture.
Lewis made his move on Barrichello.
You have a puncture, Rubens. Rear left is punctured.
With just 8 laps to go, Rubens had to pit for a new tyre.
The closing stages of Friday's first practice ended in dramatic fashion for Sebastian Buemi.
Three more laps to go, Lewis. 3 more laps.
A problem with the right rear wheel nut released Rosberg's tyre into the crowded pit lane. Then Lewis made slight contact with Sebastian that sent the Red Bull off on a tangent. That gave Vettel a puncture while Webber seized the advantage. They weren't the only ones who tangled. Alonso and Massa got up close and personal. But the earlier contact forced Felipe into the pits with a puncture. Now Vettel was in for his new tyre. He slowly got going, but was forced to crawl around at the back of the field. Fernando moved right, then left, while Maldonado went full circle. Now Kobayashi fancied a piece of the action. Bruno's 1-stop became a 2-stop when he was given a drive-through for causing the collision. But on lap 8, this was an image that Pirelli didn't want to see replayed.
Got a puncher.
2 laps later and Pirelli's nightmare continued. Now Massa had a left rear failure. Verne's left rear tyre exploded and Kimi was very lucky. A quick move to the right was very fortunate for Fernando.
Okay, box this lap.
3 wheels were complete, but the right rear wasn't fixed in position. His mechanics were powerless, while the wheel bounced out of control and hit a cameraman.